Intriguing. Megyn Kelly claims to have sources within the government that say Epstein did not kill himself and that he did have ties to intelligence, and kind of rakes Ben Shapiro over the coals for believing the Trump administration narrative without skepticism.
Well, I think it's very hard to say those people need to come out and put their names on these claims when they're working for an administration, this one and the one before, that didn't want that to come out. You're asking somebody to countermand the people they work for.
How am I supposed to falsify their claims? Now we're working in the realm of the unfalsifiable.
You're not, but you're...
Oh, wow. Ben Shapiro, once again, shockingly enough, taking a position that seemingly benefits Israel.
My sources are the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, Dan Bongino, the Deputy Head of the FBI, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. And those aren't just my sources. They're everybody's sources because they...
Okay. What would Ben say if Merrick Garland, the FBI head under Biden, Kamala Harris, and Joseph Robinette Biden were all saying that Jeffrey Epstein actually killed himself? Please don't look at this at all. There's nothing to see here. Like, the only reason why Ben can get away with saying this is because he assumes that everyone in the audience is on board with all of these people and thinks that they are infallible. The problem here is the Epstein story is in and of itself infinitely more interesting for these people than all of these individuals that Ben just mentioned. I would go so far as to say even Donald Trump. That's why I was saying that this Epstein situation is like the first time I've seen genuine separation from even Donald Trump himself. If the Israeli media Twitter account tweeted that Epstein didn't kill himself, Ben would die defending that position with no evidence. Yeah. Well, if the Israeli media Twitter account tweeted that Epstein actually killed himself, I would assume that he didn't. If they actually said that Epstein didn't kill himself and he was assassinated, I would assume that he actually committed suicide, to be fair. So the position that Ben holds for the Israeli media account or the official Israeli spokespersons, I hold the exact opposite position. Nobody cares about Epstein. Oh my God. Yeah. Nobody. Stop talking about Epstein.
Trust me, I have high-level sources who have said they don't believe any of that. Any of that. Okay. So, and I'm not going to out them for purposes of convincing you, but you're telling me name them. No, I'm not going to. I don't have authorization.
I'm not saying
and then you say, well, I dismiss all of it because you won't name them.
Hold on, Megan, I'm not saying you should name them. I'm saying they should name themselves because otherwise they are being complicit in one of the greatest cover-ups in the history of the American Republic.
That's easy for you to say, Ben. That's very easy for you to say.
Why is that easy for me to say? Why?
Because you'll have your job and you'll have your millions, no matter what they do.
Megan, give me a break. If somebody came out today and they were a whistleblower on the greatest scandal in the history of the American Republic, they would make more money tomorrow than in...
If someone actually came out as a whistleblower on the Epstein, they'd get killed, okay? He's right? No, he's not. If someone comes out as a whistleblower against the interests of the American State Department, they go to prison. On this issue, if they were to come out as a whistleblower, they would get Jeffrey Epstein. No, it would be suicide. Yeah, they would leak the intelligence secrets on Jeffrey Epstein and then be overcome with such grief about the consequences of their actions that they would instantly kill themselves by shooting themselves in the back of the head with 2 bullets. Famously, they would go, oh my God, I'm so sad. I can't believe I released this information. I'm so sad. I'm going to kill myself now by shooting myself in the back of the head with 2 bullets.
Well, no, I can draw the conclusion that the evidence that I'm seeing and the people who are speaking about it lead me toward this particular conclusion. And if counter evidence is presented that is not speculative, then I will change my conclusion because that's what I've done on this case. Until this memo came out, I was weighing toward the more extreme version of this theory, and you can look back at my tweets.
Oh, so you're saying until Donald Trump said Jeffrey Epstein didn't, nothing to see here, you were on board with the theories. Also, after it was reported that Trump called Charlie Kirk to ask him to tone down his criticism of the Epstein files, here's what Charlie Kirk had to say.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
Trump has been making boss calls on this to be like, dude, shut the up. Shut the up about Epstein. But here's one man who will not. Here's one man who is unbowed.
8-9 days into this whole Epstein attempted gaslighting by the DOJ cover-up exploding, it endangers the entire Trump administration and by extension America and Western civilization and by extension the entire world. I want Trump to succeed desperately. I support 95% of what Trump's doing. I think he's a great man. From all research, he's not connected to Epstein in any illegal activity.
He always says this. He always says, look, I've done my research. Trump is not connected to Epstein in any way, but maybe he's been blackmailed by the Mossad. Who knows?
That all the 180s and all the flip-flopping that we've seen has blown this into a new level of Streisand effect. Now, yesterday, it came out in the corporate press that Ghislaine Maxwell in federal prison for human trafficking, Epstein's accomplice, known Mossad operative, MI6 as well, that she's ready to release the list. And, she's brought her case to the Supreme Court and all the rest of this. Number one, I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. She is on record a human trafficker. And you don't take somebody that's in prison and then take what they have to say later. So, yeah, I'm defending Trump right there. But you look at this headline, the deep state is attempting to blackmail Trump. It doesn't mean they've got something, but they have had control, like Trump said, the Democrats, of the file. They took out whatever they wanted and added whatever they wanted into it. So that's true. So a bunch of people are pissed off at me at one side saying, look, you're defending Trump when he said on Truth Social 2 days ago.
Dog, we listened to you yesterday. You quite literally said, oh, I never thought about this angle that the Clintons and the Democrats might have up the Epstein list. And now he's like, of course they did. Like yesterday, he was like, oh, what a brilliant way to talk about this, Mr. President. I didn't even think about that. And now today's like, obviously, it's an established fact that Obama, the demon, polluted the Jeffrey Epstein list, the client list, with every Republican, including Donald Trump.
They've had the file, just like Russiagate or anything. They falsify stuff. You can't believe it. That's a real issue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Obama, he smells like sulfur. I smelled him, folks.
They could have done that. I don't know they did that. I'm simply wargaming every angle of this. But then you look at all the bizarre behavior.
Yeah, he's wargaming every angle. That's why he's glazing Trump, and he's finding a way to just like align with Trump on all of it.
So, and it's clear, all the evidence points towards Israel, Netanyahu using threats of what's in the file. Not that Trump did something, but he's been in reports the FBI put out. Something is there. And I told you over a week ago, I said, it's Trump, not Bondi, not Patel, not Bongino doing this. It's Trump. And Trump on Truth Social and now in statements has said, yeah, it's me. I want to move on. I want this shut down. So they are trying to blackmail Trump, and he's acting like they've got something.
Superman made everybody woke faster than expected. Yeah, Trump didn't do anything, but he's being blackmailed. With what? Is Israel blackmailing Trump? With what? What could you possibly even blackmail Trump with? I mean, we know Alex Jones will defend Trump, even if it came out that he was like children. So what could Israel have on Trump if he's blackmailing Trump? Like the only thing I can think of is like blackmailing him with, footage of him having a child, I think, right? So then maybe he is involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And that kind of undermines the first point that he made. I'm not saying this is the truth, by the way. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying that Alex Jones's presentation here doesn't make sense. Like the logical system that he's trying to develop here, which is that Trump had no involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, but also simultaneously, Mossad might be blackmailing Trump. Yeah, I'm just wargaming. I'm wargaming out all the scenarios. If Israel is blackmailing Trump, what are they using to blackmail Trump with? A minor. That's the only thing that this could be, which means that maybe he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
When people start telling you don't ask questions, you got a problem. Remember all the New York Times articles and Washington Post articles? Asking questions is bad. Doing your own research is bad. No, it's good. So I don't want to be focused on this. But everything Trump and them have done the last few months with Bongino and them, like during the headlights on that Fox interview, has triggered all this. And I said, like, if you want it to go away or you don't think you can prosecute people or it's a national security issue, I'm not defending that, but I understand that. Just shut up. Shut up. Instead, Trump, hey, I've done a great job. Truth Social, leave it alone, drop it. They're going to have congressional hearings now. They're coming after you. I've never seen such a self-inflicted wound. So Benny Johnson nails it. Glenn Beck nails it. And Charlie Kirk, I'm just not going to question my friends. And I understand that thought process. I don't agree with it, but hey, Trump's doing so much good. We've seen him try to.
Alex Jones trying to desperately defend Trump while simultaneously imply that he probably children under like Mossad supervision is so funny because you're basically saying the worst thing about Donald Trump. You're taking the long road into saying Donald Trump is involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Like you're trying to say he's not involved with Jeffrey Epstein and then literally saying he was absolutely involved with Jeffrey Epstein. This makes no sense. How can you arrive at this position where you're like supposed to be the moral compass, the North Star of leading conservative conspiracy theorists, and you have this approach to the subject matter where you keep saying Jeffrey Epstein is not involved with Donald Trump in any way, except for the fact that the Mossad might have captured Trump on video and has blackmail on him, which is causing this kind of division to take place. But is this Don Winslow Dear Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Cash, and Dan Bongino, I want to introduce you to yourselves. MAGA is watching. God is watching you. Hashtag Epstein cover up.
Please do not let that story go.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in?
Yeah, it turns out we looked at the tapes and we didn't like who was on it. Actually, no one's on the Epstein tapes. They don't exist. Excuse me. You're a freak for wanting to know who was on the Epstein list. You must want to look at CSAM. Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get out of jail if the Epstein files don't exist. She shouldn't be in jail. She's going to get another trial. No, the answer to that is that Ghislaine was helping sex traffic people just for Jeffrey Epstein alone. That's what they will claim. Trump used to wish her well because how do you know she's guilty? Yeah, this was so crazy. This was such a crazy moment. Remember this interview was such a banger, dude. It's one of my favorite interviews of all time of Donald Trump, the Axios one.
A reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well, whatever it is. Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
First of all, I don't know that, but I do know that.
She has. She's been arrested for that. You know
Her
that.
friend or boyfriend,
Epstein,
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now in jail. Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot.
Her friend is in jail and then commits suicide. Her boyfriend is so sad. Is so sad. Who wouldn't feel sad about that? Bro, wait, hold up. We got to run it back. Dude, listen to
allegations of child sex trafficking. Why would you wish such a person
First of all,
well?
I don't know that, but I do know that.
She has. She's been arrested for that. You know
Her
that.
friend or boyfriend,
Epstein,
was either killed or committed suicide in jail. She's now.
By the way, this was under his watch. He says either killed or committed suicide in jail. Your jail. It was a federal prison. At this point, he was still president, and it had happened not that long before this interview was conducted. It happened under his watch.
In jail. Yeah, I wish you well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that?
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out how did it happen? Was it suicide? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
I mean, she's a child alleged child sex trafficking.
Big deal. But all it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. Trump, when there's a random like construction worker that has maybe a little bit too much melanin, killed a person. He's a MS-13 gang member. They're barbaric. They're brutal. Every single person that's Mexican has actually every white woman in America. Trump, when it's an international pedophile sex trafficker, possibly a member of the intelligence community, I wish her well. She was such a darling. She's such a great cocktail guest. I love it. I love her. I think she's so beautiful. And so is Jeffrey Epstein. What a guy. What a guy. What a guy. I wish her well. I wish him well. I wish everybody well. We don't know if she's guilty or innocent. One of the best interviews ever conducted. Straight up, where Jonathan Swan isn't even like trying that hard. Important. I just confirmed that Dan Bongino was in his FBI office at work today and is working on something very important. Dan was in a positive mood. Charlie Kirk, seeing eye emoji. Now, this might be good enough for a lot of the Republicans to get back on the, yeah, this administration is not hiding the truth train. It's not good enough for me. Dan is in a positive mood. Also, God, it's so bitch made. What do you mean positive mood? Like, who gives a what Dan Bongino's personal attitude is? Like, why am I supposed to care about this? Put the Epstein files in the bag, okay? You're a public servant. I don't give a shit about how sad you are. What the is this pussy ass bullshit? Why is everyone like this now? Everyone's like, oh, I'm so weepy. I'm so sad. Oh no, no one will trust me in my podcasting business any longer. Like, I don't care, man. Just release the goddamn files, dude. What the fuck is this? Put the files in the bag, little bro.